Hello YouTube, this is a video response to Comms Prepper's 10,000 subscriber giveaway. Congratulations, by the way. And talking about the prizes, and well, I'm a little bit new. Had my ticket since May of 2014, so it's a little over almost a year and a half now. And this is kind of my first HF rig, and been set up here for a little while. Got some wire dipoles up in the attic. It's working okay. One of the things I definitely need to improve upon is I want to get set up with a mobile field antenna, something I can take down quickly, something I could deploy. I don't mind going up in the attic, but it would take me quite a while to unstring everything, and I have a diagram I can show of basically this is what we're dealing with. Sorry for the cheap video production. I don't do a lot of YouTube videos, but maybe you can see I actually have 4 different bands of wires running off of a single 4-to-1 balun. And it works pretty good. 80 meters is a bit problematic. It takes quite a bit of wattage for me to get through on the RMS Express with Winmore, but you know, I'm able to do it in a pinch, and I guess that's what matters. So let's see, what else do we have going here? So one of the things that I do have going is battery backup. I got this reconditioned yellow top Optima, and this little watt meter, which has been really handy. Sorry for the glare there. This will actually show you the current draw. Right now, this old ICOM 737 HF transceiver is hooked up, and you can see on receive it takes about 1.6 amps, and I've got this all rigged up with power poles so I could hook up anything I needed to in a pinch, any other device or radio. And what we'll notice if I go over to PSK 31, the band's all shut down, but as you can see when I call out CQ on there, even if I just put it to about 30 watts or so, you can see this guy jumping up to about 7 or 8 amp hours of draw there, and you can see the voltage. It's getting a little bit low here. It's a little bit older battery, but anyhow, so definitely need a field antenna. Next thing, talking about a mobile unit. I have this cool little dual band I got used from somebody, and I do like the size of it, but there's 2 annoying things. It has a fan that turns on after nothing, and you could just push to talk for 1 second, that fan's blowing. Another thing is the backlight is burned out. I can crank that all the way and it's totally burned out, and so I have to keep a little light around here to be able to see the display even in a decent room light. Another cool thing I like both about the Kenwoods and the ICOMs, even though I'm a big Yaesu fan on the mobiles, is if you look at the mic jack. If you guys see the signal link here, I'm using this on my HF rig, and that's hooked up to the old DIN connector on the back of the ICOM transceiver. But one of the cool things that you can do, I don't have one on me, is you can actually go from the back of the signal link with a standard Ethernet cable into the mic jack of a mobile unit that takes an RJ45. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's what that is. Not a huge deal, and even if you have to make some wiring adjustments, being able to crimp your own Ethernet style cable is considerably cheaper than spending 20 some odd dollars for a Tigertronics made one that's rig specific, like you may be familiar. And of course you have to move the jumpers. So, and the reason I would want to do that is I am involved in some emergency communications with my local city government here as a volunteer. And we do a lot of things. We send some packet email over 2 meters, you know, over RMS Express. There's some other things that people are doing with FO message, APRS. I could certainly make do with this radio, but having a no-nonsense VHF rig with a front-facing speaker for kind of a mobile, portable application, I think is really desirable. And let's see. So we talked about the antenna. What was the other item? I feel a little embarrassed here. Let me check your YouTube video. I've had a long day. I apologize. All right. First prize. We talked about the Kenwood. Talked about the Chameleon antenna. So the antenna, let's talk a little bit more. I'm a big fan of This rig here happens to have an internal antenna tuner, which is kind of a rare thing. Now it only goes to about 3 to 1 SWR, but if you get the measurement pretty close and either end of a wire dipole or even, I've never had a problem with this guy tuning up. I mean, it'll even tune up on, pretty much any band I throw at it there. Some work a little harder than others, and I can bounce it around, and it's going to tune up for us. Um, but I believe that you've got a 9 to 1 Balun on that Chameleon antenna, so that would probably work a lot better as an all-bander. Oh, the silver. How did I forget the silver? You know why? Because I've been thinking so much about ham radio. Um, I have to confess, I'd probably put a silver coin, just keep it in the safe, either save it for the kids or a rainy day or something along those lines. But as you can see, I'm kind of early on my journey for having some self-sufficient communications capabilities. But little by little, piece by piece, I'm getting these things together. I think it was Comms Prepper's YouTube videos that got me into using the Winmore here. And I think that that's one of the slickest things around, even though it's slow. I bought this rig control USB cable, the second USB right here, 15 bucks on Amazon, and that's controlling a rig from the early 1990s with this software here. So that's really great if you get in and want to change the station. Let's say that I'm going to go to, what is it? On the 40 meter 7064. Watch it tune when I double click. So you may notice, not to get into too much on Winmore, I'm sorry for the refresh. You see that there's a dial frequency that's different than the center. And the dial frequency is actually what matches on the transceiver. So anyway, I won't go through all that noise and waste the time in the video, because it does take about 3 minutes to send a 5-word email, it seems. But without having to buy a Pactor modem, I have the capability with no grid power. All I need is to make sure the laptop battery is good, or hook it up to an inverter or other backup power, which I could, and I can send an email. There's a couple stations within a few hundred miles, Central Oregon and Eastern Washington, south of Seattle, and I can routinely hit them pretty much in all conditions. I'm pretty happy with what I've learned in about a year, and I'm hoping to keep this hobby going. Again, it's been a lot of fun, and thank you for bearing with me through my lack of video production quality. This is all done in one take, but I just wanted to thank Comms Prepper for all he's done. He's definitely gotten me into a lot of the stuff that you see here, and best of luck to everybody participating.